If you aren't new to my channel, you are probably well aware of the fact that From Software's Bloodborne belongs to my all-time favorite games and had a profound effect on my gaming habits. My deep admiration for Bloodborne has many reasons, one of which is the game's masterful implementation of H.P. Lovecraft's legacy. The works of H.P. Lovecraft and the very particular style of horror they convey are found in almost every corner of modern pop culture. In fact, Lovecraft's spirit levitates above countless novels, movies, and especially video games. When I say the name Lovecraft, chances are high your first association with the name is some sort of otherworldly tentacle creature of enormous size, or a spooky fishing village inhabited by insane bloodthirsty occultists devoting their lives to a fearsome deity. Most people attribute a special aesthetic and imagery to Lovecraft's body of work, and who could blame them? Lovecraft's signature creature design is striking, easy to identify, and part of so many popular franchises. From the necromorphs in Dead Space to the Reapers in BioWare's Mass Effect series, and the demons in Guillermo del Toro's movie adaptation of the HELLBOY comics, massive tentacle monsters featuring a surplus of eyes are everywhere. And you can bet your ass, Kojima was drawing from Lovecraft's aesthetic as well. Judging by the most recent Death Stranding footage, a game which funnily enough includes a character portrayed by Del Toro, it is hard not to draw connections to Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos. But here's the crucial problem about the vast majority of Lovecraftian adaptations. They are all operating true to the motto, style over substance. Most games and movies copy Lovecraft's aesthetics, yet they completely disregard the essential themes and philosophy attached to it. Lovecraft's horror is steeped in nihilism. His stories are revolving around the insignificance of mankind in an endless, uncaring universe full of terrifying godlike creatures whose motives and powers are beyond our comprehension. The very act of trying to gain their knowledge obliterates our pathetic human brain, which is why Lovecraft's protagonists succumb to madness. Lovecraft's own worldview was controlled by an overwhelming proclivity for pessimism. This pessimistic outlook can still be felt in the narratives he left behind. In short, most Lovecraft adaptations are stuck at the surface and don't explore the underlying themes of his nihilistic philosophy. In my humble opinion, Bloodborne represents the best adaptation of Lovecraftian themes I've ever seen. Cosmicism reigns supreme in Bloodborne and even exerts influence on some of the core gameplay mechanics. Apart from Bloodborne, there just aren't a whole lot of games who manage to successfully incorporate Lovecraftian ideas into their gameplay. Amnesia: The Dark Descent is another great example. The game never directly quotes Lovecraft, but Amnesia's insanity meter is a clever way to play with Lovecraft's notion of madness. The sheer sight of the monster in Amnesia can impact the psyche of your character. But again, most movies and games never reach this stage. They are satisfied with merely copying the imagery. Given my love for Bloodborne and Lovecraft, whenever a new Lovecraft game is on the horizon, I tend to be really curious. Which leads me to Call of Cthulhu, a survival horror game published by Focus Home Interactive and scheduled to be released sometime this year. I got a feeling this game is flying under many people's radar. You play as private investigator Edward Pierce, who's trying to uncover the mystery behind the death of an entire family on Darkwater Island. The game was first announced in 2014. Back then, Call of Cthulhu was under the creative lead of the Ukrainian developer Frogwares. Frogwares' name attached to the project actually made me quite excited for the game. Unfortunately, Call of Cthulhu switched developers in 2016 when Focus Home Interactive announced that Cyanide Studio has taken over development of the title. To be honest, I don't know what to make of it. Frograres definitely seemed like the perfect match for a game like Call of Cthulhu, based on their pedigree in form of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes series. Cyanide, on the other hand, delivered quite a few mediocre games. Just remember the clunky and underwhelming Game of Thrones RPG. It's not like Cyanide is an awful developer, however, the Sherlock Holmes adventure games created by Frograres by and large feature the same gameplay components one would expect to find in Call of Cthulhu. Of course, I don't know the full story and how much of Frograres' vision carried over, but it definitely seems like an odd choice to strip a project like Call of Cthulhu from a developer so perfectly equipped to do a great job. Be that as it may, for now I'll give Cyanide the benefit of the doubt. The latest trailer looks promising, and as far as I can tell, they managed to capture the eerie and mysterious atmosphere Lovecraft game so desperately needs. Could Call of Cthulhu be the next great Lovecraft game? Well, it all depends on the developer's willingness to go beyond a simple adaptation of Lovecraftian aesthetics and come up with interesting gameplay mechanics in service of Lovecraft's themes. A successful adaptation of Lovecraftian horror should be measured by its ability to skillfully translate themes like madness and human insignificance into the interactive nature of a game. If Cyanide can't find a way to do so, Call of Cthulhu will be just one of many superficial Lovecraft games. If everything goes well, 2018 will be a great year for Lovecraft fans, especially if Sony announces Bloodborne 2 at this year's E3. The operative word is if. Before I end this video, I'd like to thank everyone who supported my channel throughout the last couple of weeks. This channel was basically non-existent for over a year. It took me a year to gather 100 subscribers, and to be perfectly honest with you, my E3 prediction series was one last attempt to get the ball rolling. To my surprise, I witnessed an incredible growth in views and subscribers. Compared to most other gaming YouTube channels, I'm still insignificant, but believe me when I say I'm really grateful for the support. Finally, after 1 year of invisibility, I've stopped talking into an empty void. I can actually have a discussion in the comment section for once. So once again, thank you guys a lot. As long as you keep coming back to my videos, I'll do my best to improve the quality of my content. That's it for today. I gotta prepare the next video, and yes, I'll admit, I'm also playing the shit out of God of War. I hope you are doing the same. Have a good one.